If I could say one thing I wish I really would have understood when I first began to follow God, it's that don't depend on your feelings. Feelings are important. Feelings matter. There's actually this really cool book by Jonathan Edward called Religious Affections, and it talks about how if we're truly following God, it's going to make our affections change. Like our heart's invested in it, right? We love God with all our heart. But at the same time, the Bible says this: we walk by faith and not by sight. Our relationship with God is based on faith. The Bible says the righteous shall live by what? By faith. Romans 1:16 and 17. The gospel causes us to live by faith. So living by faith is obeying God and trusting in God even when I cannot see him. And I think so many times we think, man, I can't feel God, so I'm not going to connect with God. Man, I can't sense his presence, so I can't study my Bible. Man, I can't feel him here, so I can't go pray and witness. And you see, we're waiting for this feeling, but we don't realize that when we take the action, the feelings will come. When we take the actions when we don't want to, that's when we'll start to feel God. And so many of us, we don't feel God, so then therefore we don't take any action to pursue God, and we're left stuck. But it's in the moments where you don't feel God and you still take the action of obedience, that's where your faith is tested. Your faith, it's easy to have faith when you feel God. It's easy to have faith when you're on the spiritual high, when you're on the retreat, when you're at Bible study with your friends. It's easy to feel God, but when you're alone, are you still connecting to him? Jesus said, he said, follow me. He didn't say follow me when you want to. He said, take up your cross every day and follow me. Guys, let me tell you the truth. A lot of times when I read the Bible, I do not feel like it. A lot of times when I'm praying, I do not feel like it. A lot of times when I'm witnessing, I do not feel like it. When I'm worshiping, I don't feel like it. But then when I start to do it, eventually that feeling will come and God will show his presence up. And so don't wait for the feeling. Take the action first and the feeling will come. They actually give this advice in marriage counseling. If a marriage is falling apart, they say, do the actions of love, and then love will follow. If you don't feel in love with your wife, you know what they'll tell you to do? Go buy her flowers. Go write her a note of encouragement. Go send her 5 texts a day on things you're thankful for her. And do that every day, and eventually you'll start rekindling that love, that feeling of love for her. That's what they say in marriage. It's the same thing with God. If I don't feel connected to God, you know what I need to do? That's the moment I need to start praying. That's the moment I need to start studying the Bible again. That's the moment I need to start going to Bible study and going to fellowship. It's in those moments. Listen, guys, this is so important. It's in those moments where I'm not feeling anything. That's when I need to start acting. And then the feelings come. Guys, they will come. But you've got to wait on him. David said so many times in Psalms, where are you, Lord? I'm desperate. Why aren't you listening? He said, I can't feel you, God. But you know what David still did? He brought that to the Lord. He came to God with his heart. He poured out his soul before the Lord. And then the Psalms always end, almost always end with him rejoicing, saying, God, you're here. You heard my prayer. What's happening there? David went from a place of not feeling God to then still pursuing God, and then the feelings came. Guys, this is what we have to do. Don't quit. God bless.